Hey everybody, it's Cherish. Welcome back to the studio. Today we're going to go through two sketchbooks that I just recently finished. I think it's going to be interesting because this is over the scope of like 3 years, and it's kind of a methodology of drawing, which I really love because in my sketchbooks, I don't normally finish anything. I think there's one drawing that I claim is actually done. So let's just jump in. Let's go through the sketches, and feel free to send me questions. I love your questions, folks that have been sending them in. Keep them coming. They're great. I am still in the process of finishing my color chart, so that will happen in the next video probably because literally I'm waiting for paint to dry. So we'll get it done. But for now, let's go through the sketchbooks. I will see you guys at the end of the video. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to follow. Have a great day. I'll talk to you guys soon. So I think this book we've already gone through once. So I'm going to skip over a few things because we've already gone through that. There's another video that I'll link. So let's maybe start around, let's start around March 25th. I think that March 25th, I was actually flying somewhere. So I was on a trip, I was going somewhere, and I was in the hotel room and wanted to draw some stuff. So there were a couple of things that I had. One here was just working on composition, thinking about some of the pictures that I had in my phone. But I have to admit that they weren't doing it for me. And so I started drawing people on the internet. And I literally just started by, I was looking at TikTok, and the way that I consider it like paying for TikTok. I'll like look at your video, watch the whole video through, do a little drawing, and then like and comment on the video. So all these people I did that exercise for because I was like, look, I'm drawing you. And I did most of these drawings with a brush pen, some with a marker. I usually take a bunch of pens and markers with me when I travel because they're easy and no one says a boo about them. So then I got into the next page, and you can see it's all just kind of random people. But the cool thing about this is people are not posing for the camera, which is what I like. I don't really like when people are like, all posed up. So I'm able to catch some things that are really fun about the people. And the other thing that I love is I can get 100 faces in one night. So this is not 100. I think it's closer to 70 or 80, but it gets me there. So some of these were like, this one was someone who's out running, someone who's just like making a face, someone who's DJing, all kinds of fun stuff happening. And then I started just kind of using a acrylic marker to just paint a background, and got some really fun. Like I love this head. I love how that head is positioned. These count as 2. I love how they're positioned. This is like that lady that was always talking with her baby. Now she has a second baby. So that, and then just different, because I like people turned to from the left, looking towards the left, but when people look towards the right, I'm like, oh, okay, we'll get that. So here's another one. Here's the and then just grabbing people. And it's funny because this person was laughing really hard, but when you draw them, it looks like they're screaming. So interesting. I love that. I love it. You can tell I was really into that baby. And that's the other thing is I will draw the same thing over and over and over again just because I will do that. Like I can tell that that's Zendaya. It's not a great drawing of her, but that is who it is. I think later on I start to write the names of the people, not here, like when I did this again. So I start to write the names of the people just so that I could know like where these people came from. Like that's Lizzo. This lady, this one was my favorite one of the night. This funny because all these others were on TikTok. This one was on Instagram, and I just loved her style and like how she carried herself and just that little color flip. Oh, and the glasses, so good, so good. And then I think that was the last one. It's funny because this is actually the person that's on my screensaver, and I think what her phrase is something about procrastination limits you from the life that you could have been living. And I just like screen grabbed her, wrote that down, put her on my screen, she's just some random person. That's on my phone screensaver. So here I walked, I actually did write their names in there. So this is from October of last year, 2025, Avery Sunshine, and they had a video about walk-in draws that sent me. So she was like, they were traveling, they were like, you have to have your walk-in draws, and I loved their kind of their vibe. This was a husband and wife, and I loved their vibe. And then this is actually, I started thinking about redoing this painting. There we go. Started thinking about redoing this painting. And it's funny because sometimes those thoughts to like redo a painting happen way before I actually start working on the painting. But there it is. I just kind of redrew her from my phone and was just giggling and cackling, and I was like, yep, I think it's time to redo her. And then this was just practice. I was just playing with paint because I think I hadn't painted for a while because I was traveling a lot. And I just wanted to like practice with a brush, so it's some gouache, and it was fun. It was fun. I was trying to draw this pink fuzz that I have, and not very successful at it. Like, here it is. Here's the fuzz. Not very successful at it, but it was a great exercise. And then I kind of cut up paper. I kind of will just make these random still lifes, and I saw a video recently with Sandy Hester where she just kind of always has a still life in her studio, and she's done that for years. And I'm kind of thinking about doing that. And then here's some new stuff. So this is, there's no date, but this is just new things I've been thinking about. So there's like a kite, there's some flowers, there's a laying down, thing. People at the movies. If I'm ever at the movies, if I'm ever outside, I usually will just like capture people. I'll just do a quick sketch, capture people, and then keep on moving on. And then this, I don't know if you can see it, is like a street corner, and I drew it twice. Here we go. So I just will do that sometimes. A street corner just looks really interesting to me. And so I will just draw that street corner. And I kind of love clutter in a scene. I love when there's just a lot of stuff happening, and I don't know why, but it's just kind of like the best thing. It's like sliced bread. Okay, it's honestly the best thing. And then here, this is when I really started writing people's names in it. I think my favorite drawing of this entire spread is Zhao Brand. I don't know if that's how you say their name, but there they are. And like, look at that. That's just fantastic. And that's why I draw so much, because I just want to be able to like super quick capture a person's like essence, like this is Uzo Aduba. And I feel like those cheeks and her lip, she's like stunning. And I just loved capturing her, and the braids. Oh my God, the braids. And then I just put D Radcliffe, because like, how could you not know that was Daniel Radcliffe? Yeah, so... And then here's another street scene. This is, I think, the same street scene from 2 pages ago. Yeah, same street scene. Usually these things all happen like in the same night. I'll just draw like 8 things in my sketchbook. This is from this year, from February. And you can see like all these little things just kind of piled on top of each other. It's just so interesting to me that all these things work out to an image that somebody can like decipher, and I kind of love it. Oh, this was I actually posted this. This is my nephew's room, and Elmo cracked out with a Cheerio stuck to his leg. Was just hilarious. Also, being in a child's room makes you feel like a giant, and so this really deep in their perspective is so good. And then I got into drawing people on the internet, somebody working out, somebody talking. I think as I was doing these like talking ones, I got really focused on the hands, like the face. Don't look at her face. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that to you. But her hands are really interesting. And then this person Ryan Peach Turner art. I got really focused in on his hands as well. And I kind of have a rule when I'm drawing like this. You can tell I don't use a pencil, so I don't have an eraser. I have not used an eraser in my sketchbook in literal years. And that was just a choice that I made probably way back into this realm of drawing, just figuring out like still life, figuring out all this stuff. I just stopped using an eraser. I think that's probably the last drawing with an eraser. But I stopped using an eraser because it was limiting. It was limiting. It would actually make you kind of go, oh, that's wrong. And then you kind of update the thing that's wrong, as opposed to finding the line that should be there and then just acting upon that line. That's the whole reason. And I think you can tell like over time, I don't know. I feel like if I do find an error, so like right here, there's maybe an error right here, I just draw over it and it never looks like an error. Like it's not something that looks wrong to me. It just looks like it's more refined as time goes on. This is just on my desk, Arthur with the ducks, and then some flowers that I took pictures of, and then more people from social media. If I'm scrolling and I feel like I should be drawing, I'll probably just start drawing from social media. And then down the street from my house. So this is literally just walking back home from the library, and I just took a picture of the environment. And then here's actually the start of a story about this character that will probably become a painting, but I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. And you can see I'm still working through that. And I love working through paintings in this way. I'm actually going to share my other book soon. And this is honestly just an image that I've had for years and years. And I decided to just draw her again, and I just loved it. And it was like there's nothing proportional about this. You can see it's in like a crazy blue ink. Again, all these lines, like I love the fact that there's so many lines in there, and you could consider them a mess or not, but also it's just the brain thinking. Here's one I was drawing. This is of myself, and I'm starting to think about the body, and I'm starting to think about my body, and just like, you know, like how do I exaggerate the size of my arms, and how do I exaggerate the size of my legs and make that go. And then this one, I don't know what I was doing. I think I was just trying to figure something out. This starts off in February of 2024, and I start off with an Edgar. Remember that movie? MIB, and she was like, Edgar, what happened to you? Yeah, that's how I said Edgar just out. So Edgar Payne, what does this say? Tempest Crags, 1921, page 88. So if I buy a book, sometimes I'll draw out of the book, and I always will write like, where did I get that information from? And I just love this like craggy mountaintop thing. And I was not trying to make it look like anything. So if it just looks like lines to you, that's on purpose, right? And again with a pen, because you know, no pencils here. And then here's another one, Edgar Payne, the cover of the book, 2/23/24. And I just wrote my notes on the side. It's funny because I don't really go back and read my notes. I just kind of write them, but I love like this path, like it's the only way through the mountain. And look at this thing that they're trying to traverse. Oh, the storytelling is so good. Then from another book, from the Harold Speed book, The Practice and Science of Drawing, page 52. So there's this great drawing in there, and I copied it because that's what I do sometimes. Okay, this one, hear me out. It's one night of drawing over and over and over again. So I love an exercise where I literally just, any kind of pencil. So this is a pen, this is a acrylic marker, and probably some sort of brush pen, you know, with that already has ink in it. And I literally drew, like, this is my husband's feet, tray, napkin, bowl, cup, another napkin. And I literally just I love doing this. I just love a page that is a complete mess, but it's just a mess of form and finding, like, look at these feet. Like, if you just single in on the feet right there, they're really stunningly drawn. Like, I would make that into a painting. But I don't think that you get that without this practice, doing all this other stuff, you know? And then there's hubby's feet again. I never draw the top of him because he moves too much. So every time you see a picture, a drawing of my husband in here, it'll probably just be of his feet and legs. Another good foot. I love drawing a foot. I love drawing. One of the best drawings I ever did in my entire life, and I wish I still had it, was in college. In life drawing class, and I had the worst view ever, which was just like of the foot leading up to, like, you know, nakedness. And I just did a what is it, that's 24 by 36 inch newsprint paper of just her foot, and it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. So maybe more feet drawings coming soon. Because I like a portrait. I'll take that back. I love a portrait, but sometimes I like feet. Do with that information what you will. Okay, that you can tell it's just playing with the brush pen. And then this is more of that kind of at night. And you can see I just over and over and over and over and over. This is the tip. Just draw these things over and over again. You will get so good at finding shape. Doing something like this helps to do something like, let me just get this real quick. It helps to do something like this where, oops. You see, if you look in here, I kind of can't get the camera close enough. Oh, here we go. So if you look in here, all of this information that's in here, drawing like that helps me draw this like this. That's the tip that I literally kind of am able to parse this out and draw this in a way that makes sense. So that's why I draw like that, because I like technology for making paintings, but I like what my hand does more. So I like, for a painting, I will draw first, or I'll do a tracing. You know, if I've already drawn the image, I'll just trace it on, you know, just copy my own image. And then on top of that, I draw again. I love that part of, you can see how I interacted with the actual canvas, and not solely depending upon copying the reference verbatim. All right, this is from a trip to London. Nothing in my trip drawings are good. So they're all kind of weird. So this is Salisbury Cathedral, July 5th, and it was so beautiful. Stonehenge right here on the bottom. And then I just did the same thing. I had my markers and I just kind of went in. This is from another trip in July. And there was this really beautiful tree and kind of on the grounds of where we were. And I just kind of kept drawing it over and over again. I love that. I don't necessarily pick a favorite. That was my favorite. I don't necessarily pick a favorite, but I love the repetition. This one is from Pancras Station in London, 7/8/24. Waiting for the train. And on this day we were delayed 90 minutes, and so there were tons of people just standing there, and guess what, if you're just standing there, you get drawn. I think my favorite figure is this person who's kind of crouched down using their suitcase as a way to lay down. But I think the thing about drawing people who are in motion is that they're literally in motion. They're not going to stand still for you, so you got to get these lines down fast. So I think we went brush pen. Actually, it was this pen. Probably these kind of pens. So this is a Pentel. So it's kind of a brush, but the ink is in the pen. So the ink is like included. So you can just brush that in. And then if I need a harder nib, all these names are in Japanese. So I will probably just post below. But here's another one. Harder nib, much harder nib, but still that brush nib. And it's honestly just beautiful. It writes beautiful. And then I love these like calligraphy pens, manuscript pens, and they come with like a kind of a choppy nib. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And then people who sat in front of me, this is what happens. So this is, and I'm just gonna map this out. So this is somebody's backpack and their arm, and they probably just walked away and I didn't catch the rest. This is someone who was sitting there facing me. I think it was this person. And oh wait, and I love this because look at this backpack, arm, coat, but then there's you can't see the head of the person here, but you can see their feet and their water bottle and the fact that they're sitting on their suitcase. I could eat that up. And then other things like this is a handle, you know, the little handle for a suitcase. And then, you know, I think at one point a small child stood in front of me and I was like, yes. Okay, so this one is, these are my notes from the National Gallery. So I love a gallery. I think if you look at past videos, I think I literally have a whole video about the National Gallery. And this chair by Van Gogh was absolutely blew me away. It was the drawing. Look, drawing, Van Gogh. It was the drawing that blew me away. I saw Michelangelo, green underpainting, all green, no griselle. So it's just the thing about going to see paintings, drawings, sculpture, or whatever in a museum is that you kind of learn the truth of technique, and that the way we look at things now is so built on seeing it through a phone or seeing a photograph that you have to think when before that there was just drawing, like the art of drawing or the work of drawing was the thing that was the truth or the way to capture something. So seeing how in some cases unfinished paintings were, or in the case of Van Gogh, seeing how much form exists here, and even though he's you can tell he's drawing things fast. I think one of the best things I saw about this, and I might just do another video about it, was how he differentiates the wall from the door, like brushstroke wise. Oh my God, you know? And I'm not like, ooh, Van Gogh, I'm a total fan, but I'm a fan of this, right? And then of course I, you know, drew something because I needed to do that. After seeing it, I needed to get through this and just kind of work through that whole thing. And then of course more people, and I got fascinated by people's hands at the train station. So you can tell my thoughts were like, blue, 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 blue. So I started just drawing hands and hands holding their carts or whatever, suitcases. Oh, here's the one. This little boy just stood in front of me for this perfect moment with his big old ears. And I was like, oh, that's stunning. And then focus on hands and repetition. So this is like suitcase, 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 and how people kind of hold on to things when they're in these public spaces. So I can tell, I can see what it is, but I don't know. This is why I say like nothing's in my sketchbook is finished or perfect. And it's not meant to be perfect. It's just meant to be done. So I learned so much from this, like this hand right here. This hand right here is just chef's kiss to me. I love that hand. And then the way that this you know, this luggage is, loved it. Loved it. And then of course I love, like, there's the clutter of that being in, this being here, this being here, that being over there. Take me away, Calgon. Someone was just talking about that at work and I was like, no. This is Paris, so this is where I get into like my drawings as I am like out on vacation. Not great. I maybe drew for 10 minutes and we were on one of the bridges leading into Notre Dame. So I just drew a little bit while we were there. And this is Notre Dame. We went maybe a few weeks or a month, something like that, before they reopened Notre Dame. So we didn't actually get to see it open, but we did get to, you know, be in front of the doors and look at things and see how it was going. And I definitely want to go back and see what the inside feels like and looks like in the future. So there's a funny story with this. So tunnel to the Arc de Triomphe, people watching while Arthur climbs the arch. That's kind of the story. Arthur, my husband, he likes to climb high things, and I do not. And I was perfectly happy to sit in the tunnel and just wait for him. So I just drew people, again, I just drew people while they were sitting there. So these ladies were sitting across from me on the benches, and I drew them. I have no idea what this is. That's okay. So now we're back in America. I went to go pick up my nephew from school one day and drew this while waiting for him to come out of the school. And it was so cute, just this little view down the road. And I had like acrylic markers, some more of these pens and things like that, and just kept, it was more like a layering of information. Also, I really love that the sky is green, and it gives the right, you know, it's California, there's palm trees and stuff. It gives the right vibe. So this one is, it's funny, it's a still life, 8/28/24. So it's a still life. I actually built a still life in one of my videos. Took a bunch of pictures of it, and then this was kind of what happened next. I drew what I had built, and I had such a fun time. I think the best thing, at least for me, is this little fake cake. I love the little fake cake. Hold on. These little fake cakes, look at them. They're so cute. But I like to buy, I think these are erasers. I like to buy these little kind of things, and I use them for models. So if I am in need to paint something, I just have these little things, little objects that I can draw that are just kind of around my studio that keep me happy, keep me drawing. That was funny. And then this, again, waiting. I mean, honestly, I kind of like to wait at places. I do. Kind of like, because then I get drawings like this. So this was like outside of the gym. My coach was packing up, and I was waiting for her outside. And this is just the trees literally right across the street from the gym. And I think there's like a power station or something over there. So I was just capturing that. And it's funny because I don't care. Oh, it's like 10/11/24. So I must have skipped a bunch of stuff. But I must have just, yeah. Anyway, so I just capture what's going on. Again, no eraser. The points of the day is get rid of your eraser. You don't need it. Unless you're drawing. If you're drawing, like you're working on like a final image or something like that, or your actual image, you don't need that. You can use your eraser to like draw with. And then, oh, back to the beach. My sketchbooks are like 1 page blank, and I'll just go back and draw on the next page. This, I think I took myself to lunch, which was kind of fun. I took myself to lunch because I needed to go shopping, and the place was so far out that I was like, it's time to eat something. And while I was there, it was the World Series, and I think the Dodgers were in the World Series, so there were all these people at a bar, and I stood there and drew them like a creeper. So I really like capturing, and I'm starting to like capturing like places more where like you have these the little flags that are outside, and then people sitting there all watching the TV. You know, what happens when somebody does a thing? You know, you hit a ball thing, home runny, you hit a home run, and then everybody cheers. And I kind of love that. And I don't know who the players are, 13 and 27, but that was fun. And then I think as I get into it, I love it. I love it when people are not paying attention to you, and you kind of capture them acting normally, as opposed to when, like, I feel like a lot of drawings and paintings are very editorial looking. Like everyone looks like they're posing for a magazine shot, as opposed to interacting with their environment. So I think that's why I kind of gravitate toward like, ooh, a bunch of people are watching a show or something, and I'll kind of sketch. I love this, and you'll see that same pattern of things stacked or people stacked. So I just kind of would draw. I think I did take like some pictures, and I just left after a while. Yeah. This security guard was sending me. He was just great. He was just minding all these people who were drinking. And then you can see, like, you can tell this one I probably drew from an image, because there's a lot of detail in it. All these others, no detail, but just lines. So but when you get into the detail stuff, you can tell. I actually love her head, this head, and this guy's hair. Love them. I kind of tend to find a shape that is like, here's the hero of the image. I'm going to find the shape and like take it to its next, you know, next step, the next logical step. And I just love like, okay, so if her head is here, this guy's behind her in my perception, and blah, 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 blah. And then I don't care about perfection. Like, look at this hand. That hand looks crazy. Obviously his hand doesn't look like that, but as a drawing, it works. It's fine. Okay, I'm starting to look like a real creeper. This this is the mall. So this one is the most fun on this page for me. This one is at the mall, and I'm sitting up on a like, I think outside of a Target, looking down at a woman who's sitting on a bench down below me, and I love that kind of capture. And this is drawn from life. These are just, I was just sitting there. And the thing about when you're drawing people from life, you don't want to stare, but also it's like how I look a lot when I draw. I'm always looking. And so you want to like not be creepy, I guess. Anyway, but most people honestly aren't even paying attention. Like, this guy was fully on his phone. And I kind of love this, like this L shape that he's making. So this is the page where we left off. And I think the thing about this page was I liked capturing how people sit, like how people really sit. Everybody kind of schlumps and slouches a little bit. And there's so much character. Like, in this guy, obviously it wasn't this severe, but this very L-shaped thing of him. And then him kind of being slouched down a little bit into his move. I actually just went to LACMA and drew at LACMA. And this guy right here was kind of doing the same thing, where he was slouched so far forward that his head and his shoulders were kind of on the same level. It was really good. Okay, a little bit of that. This is literally in this book probably the only thing that I would consider a finished painting or drawing in this book. I love this drawing. I really do. It was from 12/8/24, and I don't know. I feel like I should like put it up on the site for prints or something. It's so good. And then this is another from a photo shoot. I love expression, and I love capturing it quickly and getting rid of the pencil, just getting out a pen, getting out some sort of a marker. It really helps me to just get beyond the perfection of drawing and gets me into capturing expression, capturing mood, capturing all those fun things. I was just playing with it there. Gosh, I don't even know if you can really see this. So these are kind of sketches of the Lucretia drawings that I've been really fascinated with. I went to the Getty Center and was able to just sit in front of the painting and draw for a long time, maybe 30, 40 minutes. I just sat there and drew her over and over again. And the funny part about it was I kind of started my own sketch recently, and I didn't realize, like, if you look at the positions, they're really similar. And I really did that unconsciously. So when I took this reference image, it was very unconsciously echoing Artemisia Gentileschi's Lucretia. And I kind of love that. I literally found this image. This is like, I found this on Pinterest, which I never do, and I drew it, and I don't know, but I was fascinated with the texture of the clothing and their skin color. So this one is another Lucretia. This is Ludovico Mazzanti, his Lucretia, and I have recently written a Substack article about this painting and the previous painting in kind of comparison and kind of conversation with each other. So check that out. And then this is kind of a detail sketch of his painting, because again, I went to the museum and I drew this. Go to the museum and stand in front of drawings and draw them. That's literally my last video was that. I was standing in front of this painting. I was drawing it. I was getting information from it. I really learned that there's a big difference in the storytelling between this version of Lucretia and this version of Lucretia, where she is in this dark room all by herself, and she is literally the heroine, the hero of the image. And I don't know, I was very moved by this whole presentation of Lucretia. And then this one, I was moved by this presentation as well, but more so from a thought of, oh, look, it's the same subject, but drawn by a different painter. So it's really interesting to go in and experience that so that you can understand what you like and what you don't like about different paintings. And then last but not least, literally from life, super light drawings. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's in this book. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you being here. And if you made it all the way to the end, don't forget to comment and all the subscribey things. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.